Breast cancer is a different disease for Black women. We are 41% more likely to die of breast cancer than white women, and Black breast cancer patients experience the lowest 5-year survival rate of any race or ethnicity. Black women under the age of 35 get breast cancer at twice the rate of white women and die at 3 times the rate, well before they would have their first mammogram. This is a matter of life and death for Black women. We must work together to eradicate Black breast cancer. We can't afford not to.
Black breast cancer is a different disease. We define it as the constellation of experiences, exposures, and lack of science for Black women with breast cancer. We're getting breast cancer at earlier ages and later stages, but the mortality rates are devastating and unacceptable. Black women have a 41% higher mortality rate than white women. Black women have a 39% higher recurrence rate of breast cancer than white women. We also get the most devastating breast cancer called triple-negative breast cancer, and it's the most aggressive and has the least treatment options. Black breast cancer is often blamed on the social determinants of health, and it's not about that. Clearly they are a factor in our lives, but we really have a lack of science and a lack of medical treatments that work on our bodies.
Every major advancement in cancer care exists because it has been studied through a clinical trial. The very standard of care, the drugs that we know work for cancer, were developed based upon clinical trials, based upon patients participating to find the right dose, the right combination, the right timing of medications. We know, however, that the standard of care does not work for a subset of the population. And when we look at the survival and the mortality statistics surrounding Black women and breast cancer, we can see that there is an increased mortality. There is a decreased quality of life. There are fewer drugs that are available, especially for aggressive forms of breast cancer like triple-negative breast cancer. And so it is important, it is a moral imperative for Black women to participate in clinical trials so that we can both develop a new standard of care, but also more and more refined life-saving agents for Black women who are dying of this disease at a disproportionate rate. The impact of breast cancer on young Black women is truly devastating. The statistics are horrifying. Young Black women under the age of 35 are diagnosed at twice the rate, and they die at 3 times the rate of their white counterparts. We know that their disease is more aggressive and they're diagnosed with later stage disease, in part because they're too young for breast screening. It's important for young Black women to know their family history, to know their risk factors, to understand breast density and their breast exams. When breast cancer hits a young Black woman, it affects her entire family, her future, her ecosystem. And it's part of the reason that we're here today, because this disease is so very deadly, and we need to do something now in order to impact the lives of young Black women in this country.
I was diagnosed with stage 3A triple-negative breast cancer. I did a double mastectomy, and then I had 6 rounds of standard of care chemotherapy, and then 6 weeks of radiation. Almost a year to the day of my diagnosis, I had a PET scan, and my doctor identified 5 spots of cancer on my chest wall. She said, "Okay, Ricky, you are now metastatic. You have about 2 years to live. Get your affairs in order." And I said, "Well, I can't really die right now. I have a daughter at Dartmouth that's a sophomore. I need to put her through college. So me, you, and God, and some drugs or something has to work this out. What have you got for me?" I found the Triple-Negative Breast Cancer Foundation. I reached out to them, and they found me probably one of about 5 doctors in the country at the time that were studying triple-negative breast cancer. And she was awesome. She put me on some experimental drugs, and they saved my life. And here I am 10 years later. Cancer experience gave me my purpose. I know that God left me here to do this work, and I wouldn't know how to do anything else.
Founded by members of the Black breast cancer community, Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance, works tirelessly towards their mission to eradicate Black breast cancer.
We founded Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance, to bring more attention and resources to Black breast cancer. We saw a specific need for our specific disease state, and we wanted to get more attention and more science for Black women. Our mission is to eradicate Black breast cancer. We have a weekly web series called The Doctor Is In. It airs live on Facebook, on the blackdoctor.org Facebook page every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Dr. Monique Gary and I just bring love and a kitchen table girlfriend conversation to Black breasties. We talk about everything and anything in very real life, real world conversations. It's not super scientific. It's all about helping Black breast cancer patients feel educated and empowered about what they need to know.
My journey was very similar to most people that go through a breast cancer diagnosis. I had a lumpectomy, which means you remove the lump. I had chemotherapy followed by radiation. Now I had the kind of cancer that is fed by hormones, estrogen, progesterone. But I think through that journey, the thing that really was sad to me, that I could not find any other African American women that were willing to share their story with me. So I was determined after my diagnosis that I was going to scream from the mountaintops. If caught early, if you get your mammograms and do breast exams as well, you can survive this thing, and you can survive and thrive.
So at Touch, we are really trying to activate the young Black women community. We have an amazing HBCU internship where young Black women are talking to other young Black women through social media. Having a stronger social media presence has really helped us. We are trying to make sure that we have more equitable outreach, and we also have a new Young Women's Advisory Board where we are actually connecting the market research to know how to reach the young Black women in our communities so we can actually make a difference.
We really founded Touch to advance the science for Black breast cancer. The only way that's going to happen is to get more women into clinical trial research. We need better science, we need better drugs, and we have to increase the participation level of Black women in clinical trial research. So I have my awesome team working with us, my daughter Haley, our best doctor ever in the world, Dr. Monique Gary, and my co-founder and partner in crime, Valerie. And we are on a mission to eradicate Black breast cancer and make this disease go away for Black women.
To learn more or to support the mission at Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance, visit touchbbca.org.